Thinking from first principles, or reasoning from first principles, means breaking down complex problems into their most basic components and rebuilding from the ground up. This lets you think independently, unlock creativity, and move from incremental improvements into breakthrough results. This approach has been used by great thinkers like Aristotle, Richard Feynman, and Elon Musk to cut through flawed reasoning and to seize opportunities that others miss. It allows you to challenge assumptions, reject stale conventions, and to build your own logic from scratch. Aristotle said, "In every systematic inquiry, where there are first principles, causes, or elements, knowledge and science result from acquiring knowledge of these." It is clear then that in the science of nature, as elsewhere, we should try to determine questions about the first principles. So reasoning from first principles means stripping away assumptions, analogies, and convention until you're left with the pure foundational truth. It's very similar to Descartes' method of Cartesian doubt, questioning everything that can be doubted until we arrive at what is certain. Think of the difference between a chef and a cook. A cook follows recipes while a chef understands the ingredients and invents new dishes from scratch. A cook works from analogy while a chef thinks from first principles. We all sit somewhere on the spectrum between a cook and a chef in how we approach problems. The closer we move towards a chef, the more original and potentially valuable our ideas become. From a young age, we're conditioned to accept information without deeply understanding it. As children, we hear "because I say so," and as adults, we hear "that's just how it works." Questioning these norms can be seen as disruptive, but often those who ask why are the most thoughtful and frequently the most correct. Clinging to outdated beliefs is dangerous. Sears failed to adapt to shifting consumer habits and lost to Walmart. Then Walmart failed to recognize the rise of e-commerce and is now being outpaced by Amazon. Companies that survive are those that question the assumptions and then adapt. One of the best tools for uncovering first principles is Socratic questioning.
Socrates, the only true wisdom consists in knowing that you know nothing. That's us, dude.
Socratic questioning is a disciplined process of exposing assumptions and arriving at truth. So first, we clarify our thinking. Why do I believe this? Then we think, what if the opposite were true? Then we seek evidence. What supports my belief? Then we explore other viewpoints. What would others say? Then we examine the implications of what if I am wrong? Then lastly, we reflect on the original question, was I asking the right thing? This process strips away noise and emotional bias, helping you reach solid and unshakable conclusions. As Carl Sagan put it, science is more than a body of knowledge, it is a way of thinking. Let's break down the act of writing an essay using first principles. So, essays are made of paragraphs. Those paragraphs are made up of sentences. Those sentences are made up of words, and those words are made up of letters. So if letters are the most basic unit, improving writing means mastering everything from vocabulary to sentence structure. Once you understand the building blocks, you can rethink and improve the whole. Then you may be able to take what was originally a simple essay and end up writing an entire book. Elon Musk is one of the clearest modern examples of thinking from first principles. Where most people would think from convention or follow analogy, Elon Musk challenges his assumptions as he explains here.
And then I think it's also important to reason from first principles rather than by analogy. So the normal way that we conduct our lives is we reason by analogy. We're doing this because it's like something else that was done, or it's like what other people are doing. It's down to the most fundamental truths and say, okay, what are we sure is true, or as sure as possible is true? And then reason up from there. That takes a lot more mental energy.
Give me an example of that. Like, what's one thing that you've done that on that you feel has worked for you?
Sure. So somebody could say, in fact people do, that battery packs are really expensive and that's just the way they'll always be, because that's the way they've been in the past. You're like, well, no, that's pretty dumb, because if you applied that reasoning to anything new, then you wouldn't be able to ever get to that new thing.
Right.
It's like you can't say, horses, nobody wants a car because horses are great and we're used to them and they can eat grass and there's lots of grass all over the place, and there's there's no gasoline that people can buy, so people are never going to get cars.
Right.
People did say that, and for batteries, they would say, it's going to cost, historically it's cost $600 per kilowatt hour, and so it's not going to be much better than that in the future. And you say, no, okay, well, what are the batteries made of? So first principles would be to say, okay, what are the material constituents of the batteries? What is the spot market value of the material constituents? So you can say, okay, it's got cobalt, nickel, aluminum, carbon, and some polymers for separation, and a steel can. So break that down on a material basis and say, okay, what if we bought that on the London Metal Exchange, what would each of those things cost? Like, oh, geez, it's like $80 per kilowatt hour. So clearly, you just need to think of clever ways to take those materials and combine them into the shape of a battery cell, and you can have batteries that are much, much cheaper than anyone realizes.
So rather than accept that battery packs cost $600 per kilowatt hour, he broke down what they're made of: nickel, cobalt, aluminium, polymers, and a steel casing. He discovered that the raw materials only cost about $80 per kilowatt hour, and that the high cost came from inefficiencies and assumptions in the manufacturing line. By starting from scratch, Musk found a way to innovate and to reduce costs dramatically, an approach that helped him make both Tesla and SpaceX incredibly successful. Most people rely on inherited thinking. They follow convention, analogy, or what's already been done. But history belongs to those who challenge assumptions. Whether you're building rockets or writing essays, first principles thinking lets you strip away the clutter, find the truth, and build something better. So next time you're faced with a challenge, don't ask what's already been done. Instead, reason with first principles and build from the ground up. As Einstein once put it, we can't solve problems by using the same kind of thinking we used when we created them. Well, thank you for watching and for joining me at the start of what I hope will be a long and adventurous journey. I hope you found this video thought-provoking, because someone has to, and it may as well be you. And until next time, remember this: one day we will all be stardust. So until then, you may as well subscribe.